Hey, okay, so, I don't remember what happened last, like in terms of time for me. Yesterday, I didn't get to play at all, and now we're moving into a new period. That much I know. And I had everything split apart because the reason I didn't get to play is I played Twilight Struggle with someone, which was pretty cool because it's someone I've been trying to, uh, you know, get into a game, but it turns out like he's been working 80-hour weeks recently, so that has been difficult. Okay. So what does this new period mean? Well, now we're kind of approaching it all anew because I think I've been off for 2 days, to tell you the truth. Because the day before we were supposed to, we might have been gaming together, but I didn't find out until late. Okay, so we've just moved into the early Middle Ages, which is going to mean the Umayyads. I'm sorry, the Abbasids. The Umayyads are overthrown by the Abbasids. The Arab ruling elite switches from attacking the world to attacking itself. Well, its own non-Muslims. Here's what you do. All jihads flip to their Abbasid side. Well, that's easy enough. Way up there. Okay. So I think we got all those. There's more. There's more. They no longer move like Arabs, which means this rule, the move Muslim jihads, does not happen anymore, which is how they spread so far. But they can move if they get an instant jihad. They can be attacked by hordes, Romans, the HRE, and Nubia. Christians under Abbasid rule can fall into apostasy as opposed to before where they were kind of protected. But you can send aid to block this, which means the theologian or whatever can be thrown in. If Suftala is Roman ruled at this time, remove the Vandal horde. It is. Christian Rome is up here. All lands west of Path F Roman control tile are now uncontrolled, except for any ruler there. On Path F, I could expand into uncontrolled lands with the Romans. Well, there's not a whole lot there. But this is a big deal, right? I just didn't get the Berbers there. You have to... Somebody has to reach it to Sufatula. Relics. From now on, all remaining relics are worth $2 each. Yeah, well, good luck holding on to them. Especially if you cheat and play an extra few turns before the Muslims show up. The Crusades, not yet. During the end of turn 27, the game ends. So this is going to be, I don't know what. There's nothing special happens, but that's, yeah, it's just telling you that's the last turn of the game. I was curious whether the game ended during the history phase, which might have happened. Well, the Roman army, what's it up to? It's not back there. We're probably a lot less interested in... yeah, we wish we could go this way. We're a lot less interested in fighting... Like, we don't really need to be here at all. Is everything Christian? The Turks are not, but they're not facing us. Although they may have to make their decision this turn. I don't know. I know they have a decision at some point. That's next turn. And I don't know if, you know, how much I can influence that, but that ought to be something I'm thinking about this turn. So where are my Muslims now? This path, yeah, good luck. These don't have the path on them anymore. That's nice. I don't know if they just go away in that case. This path has Muslims, but they're not that far. They're probably, well, they're going to cause me problems. This path has no Muslims. I don't have to worry about it. This path has the Pope in it, but it doesn't have a heresy, so that's okay. Like, it's okay if that goes non-Christian and keeps the Pope. This path has no problems whatsoever, basically. This path has a lot of Arabs. I would like to send them flying back. This path I can't go on. There's no Romans there at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the Roman army. Well, no, this isn't Roman anymore. I'm not going to push the Roman army. I'm going to hope the Khazars do me some good. Crap. Okay, so this little pathy... Okay, this path has no Romans. I think the only reasonable place for the Roman army... No, there's no Romans there. Interesting. Where do I want my Romans? They could gain this. Doesn't do me much. Damned if I know. Let me look up that special rule because I want to make sure. I know there's something about attacking. I think it's in towards Jerusalem, but I keep misremembering it as like being able to attack spaces next to Jerusalem. Just the way it's worded. Yep, here we are again, me. Yeah, it's the land on the road to Jerusalem, not an adjacent land on the road to Jerusalem, not a land adjacent to Jerusalem on the road. Yeah. So I don't think I can take Jerusalem and push my way through there. There's got to be a good place for my Romans to be, right? I mean, it's really hard to picture, though. This side of the board is Abbasid. This side... Well, no, this space is Nubian. These are Himyar. This didn't convert. Is it supposed to? Well, it doesn't say so here. But Shua shows up next turn, which, you know, maybe I should look that up. Shua is 5.8. When does Charlemagne come in? Oh, Charlemagne comes in this time. What the hell? Why haven't I done that yet? Okay, so that's 5.7. Like, again, a little black thing next to a black thing when there's so much color in the game. Hey, we have a council. I didn't notice that either. Again, more black stuff next to black stuff when there's so much color in the game. Oh, great. So let's do the council first. Well, I'm all set up to anti-schism this, so let's do it, I guess. Although maybe I can't because I'm not Roman there. I probably can't, and I probably just wasted money on there because there was no way there were going to be any Romans there. Oh well, we cheated in other ways in our favor. And then we've seen the thing we wanted to see, right? Which was the Arab expansion. But now we get to see me look through the rules some more. And yes, I'm going to make you fucking do it. Because, no, obviously you can skip ahead. Haha. Teach me a lesson. So that is going to be referenced through Ecumenical Council, but I can't guarantee that that's the actual rule that I need. If the emperor is Christian, the player can choose to try to reconcile a path and schism. Count the number of spaces on the path control. Oh, well, we can't do that, actually, because, remember, we don't do that until not when it's in the player order, and until some other time, which is indeterminate, but is probably in the religious phase. There's a reason people send me their games. Because nobody does real blind testing anymore. You know? I think it was never that good. I think there were probably a few developers who were really good at getting blind testing out. But I think most did not. Okay, well, that means I can't do the council because it's not here. So let's look at Charlemagne. Let's see if he gets done somewhere else. On turn 25, check the Saxon horde. If the Saxons are Christian, they are. The Holy Rolling Empire sets up. There it is. Okay. Deployed in the land that held the Saxon horde, then take the Saxon tile, flip it to its Aryan side, and place it on a land beyond the HRE in the direction of its homeland. The Saxons made it to here, so what you're saying is because they made it so far, and I let them get in so far, I think this happens? And we have them in Spain, and they're Aryan? That doesn't seem good. I guess. Okay. Wow. Well, you don't want to let the Saxons get that far. I thought, hey, it's great. They're going to become the Holy Rolling Empire. No, they're just like based in Italy for some reason now. And they control nothing. They control Milan. That's it. Okay. Interesting. I certainly would not have played them that way if I don't know. I think I could have refused to move the Saxons once they were Christian. I think you're allowed to just not attack, but I saw no point in that. I don't know. But I don't know how far they got before, so screw it. Okay, well, that's Charlemagne. Well, while I'm here, let's see what next turn has in store for us. The Roman army can become part of the HRE. I guess the Byzantines send some help. On turn 26, the Himyar turns over to the Shua, and it just happens, and that's bad. That's real bad. But my Nubians can attack back. I wonder if I can put the Roman army with them, too. No, I don't. And let's think about the Turkish conversion, because that happens next turn, too, and I want to know that. I roll 2 dice and take the lower. Count that many lands. If the resulting land is Islam-ruled, Turks become Islam. That's not good. If it's not Islam ruled and is Christian, good luck with that, the Turks become Christian. And if it's not Islam ruled and not Christian, they become Manichees. And there I have to find a new Turk tile and put it on the map, getting rid of the old Turk. Wonder when the Seljuks come in. Interesting. I mean, wow. Stuff, I know I'm probably not going to get to Spain. It's not that far, but... oh, wait. If the Turks go Muslim, the Seljuks enter the game. Replace the Abbasid on path B with the Seljuks. Place it in Jerusalem. If there's no Abbasid on B, the Seljuk will move on path B on the last 2 turns of the game. And also if a wafer calls for it. They'd basically just be beating up Turks, I guess. Because that's all they have to do. Okay. I mean, I'm just in trouble. Now, what it doesn't say here is whether the Seljuks are intolerant the way the Abbasids are. Does it? Nope. I'm going to assume they are. I don't believe they were particularly tolerant, but I'm not positive. Right. So, what the hell? It's cookie time. And we draw $4, and supposedly I have 5 paths still open. I think that's actually right. There's a lot of green pieces on the board. We flip this over. We have an immediate Turkish move. I'm sorry, Muslim move. So all the Abbasid things, I guess, move. I have to take care of that later, but I have something I need. This took way longer than I expected. Instant Jihad gave me quite a bit, actually. Nothing moved here. Here, they actually beat back the Roman army, and that's including another unit with it. Why is this knight still kicking around? I could actually buy him and take him off the map, I believe. I'm not going to say for sure because I don't believe I know anything for sure in this game. It's all such little tiny rolls. Over here, they expanded to Georgia. That's looking like a really losing cause to me. Everything's gonna go, unless I spend a ton of money to keep things Christian for the next couple turns, which maybe makes sense. I don't know. And then over here, the Turks defeated them, the Nubians defeated there, and here we did not make it into that hospital space. The big thing was 2 failures in preventing them from advancing here, but they did another advance or 2. Okay, and now horde movement. I did not prevent the Bulgars from moving. The reason being, hey, I'll let them conquer. It seems to be advantageous to me. And again, I'm not looking that up. Maybe they can't attack Rome. Screw it if that's the case. We do not have a heretical emperor. We do not have a used Bible. C, the Khazars went forward. They killed a kingdom. Great. And again, not looking it up. And then I tried moving the Turks, and they succeeded, and then I realized they don't get to, but neither do the Vandals because they don't exist. So, I think we're done with this part, and we're on the religious phase. And this is the point where it's important for me to understand what's going on, right? Because what happens if the Turks don't go Muslim is interesting. Now, there's an interesting factor that I think is a problem, which is that Persia is still Zoroastrian. And I don't see anything that talks about Persia here. Maybe it was in a period or something. I have not been treating them particularly as if they're Zoroastrian, but now I need to know. And I don't see anything that calls them out. Of course, there's no index entry for Persia, so maybe I can look for a flame or this, but chances are this is going to be another one of them searches through the rules and the dizzying LSD-like experience of all those colors. Problems all over the damn place, because I got the Saxons who are now Aryan. You know, like all of Western Europe has just converted to Aryan because I let the Saxons get too far. I don't know what that means. Historically, something came down this way and fought its way down, but like, I guess it wasn't the Saxons. Other paths here. Hey, I'm fine here. I got Bulgars. They can beat me up. I don't care. Except I'm losing a space there. But you know, I got at least 3 spaces. It's not one of my top priorities. The problem is the Roman army is here, which might be what I want to use. But I think I can use the Holy Roman Empire. It counts as it's an attack capable one, so it can push its Saxons back, which I kind of need to do because, well, I got 2 problems. I got more problems than I know what to do with. I've got the Abbasids here, who I probably ought to be attacking, knocking out of Rome. Now, I don't know if I can use the control counter for that, but I don't really need to. It's a bucket thing, and I can attack just with the land, and then the control counter won't move. And the control counter can attack this way. That's against Saxons. Again, I am just attacking. It's not a big deal. I don't need that double action there. But I would like to get at least like 3 territories on this path into my hands. This path, I think I'm just screwed on. There is just about nothing I can do. I can't pay the Khazars to do work for me, so yeah, I've just lost that whole path. I could use the Bible to protect an area. That's about it. And I can protect my best, which is probably the martyrs. If the Khazars move forward, that's a good thing. Over here, I'm, again, just screwed. I probably want to protect the best thing I can. Oh, I still don't know about those Persians. Yeah. All right. I don't have time to do this game right now. you know, it takes me 15 minutes to figure out the board state every time I walk away. So the fact that I walked away partway through a turn means that this turn is going to take hours and hours. And we don't want that all on video, but we also just don't want it to happen anymore. In order for this not to go too farther off the rails, and for me to get too disassociated from the game, I need to do some of this tonight because tomorrow I may not get to play anything. It's likely. All right. So I think I had a question. Well, my first thought was about the Turks. I looked that up and I'm like, no, I knew that. No, it was about the Persian religion, and I found where that is. It's actually in the end of turns phase here. Yay. And it hasn't happened yet. It doesn't happen until after the Abbasids have been created, which I think was just now, because I'm in this zone. And now I forgot what it was. I just read it, but I can't remember. If all three lands are Abbasid, it turns to Muslim, unless I pay $5. $5 for 3 spaces may be worthwhile, so I may want to hold that money. But I got something else. I got the Melkites here. This land is in Schism. Oh, great. So now I got to look up the victory points again, right? But I also have to look up what the cost for the Melkites is going to be. And the Melkites are here, but they send, I see by the picture, but that actually has a reference, which I've looked up before. And I know it has to do with how many provinces are held by who, but I can't remember precisely what, so I have to look that up to make my decision. And it's not under Ecumenical Council, which is where I immediately look because that's got the number. It's actually under 5.51. And it's hostile forces, which is going to include the Arabs and tyrants. So to try a conversion here, it'll cost me $6. And it's not guaranteed. And then I need 5 more to protect the Persians. Okay, but maybe I don't need to unschism people. Maybe I don't care about that. Do I have another council? No, I don't think so. It's hard to tell, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, so now I look back at the victory points, which is what I wanted to see here. So, yeah. I'd get 5 if all lands were Christian, but I'm not going to be able to keep them all. But I might be able to keep some of them. I'd be getting the value of the Christian tiles, which means the flame areas would stand, so that's 7 victory points. And money is only worth 1 each. So for $5 I could get 7, so I could essentially get 2 extra victory points, because I think we're close enough to the end where we're close to that. But my $5 is probably worth a little bit more than 5 victory points, being that I'm using it now. So I don't know if this is worthwhile at all. On the other hand, it might be worth, well, no. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to concentrate on this track at all, and I bought all these Melkites for no good reason whatsoever. Sucks to be me. I had to check to see if I could make attacks with the Khazar, and I cannot pay to make attacks with them. This is important because this 4-point area is my most important and valuable area along this track, and if I could have hit it, that would have been worthwhile. So I'm going to spend my Bible to protect Georgia, and I'll probably just be protecting that for the rest of the game. Although maybe if the Khazars get active, I'll have some movement there. Likewise here, I take a look, and I don't know. I mean, I got a couple of 3s, so I'll protect one of them, but the Turks are the issue here, and it's the conversion of the Turks. Now, I just looked this up, And I think what it is I roll a die, and it's sort of random. Any space on the board that I pick is the same. But I'm not sure anymore. So I have to look that up. Turkish conversion again. This is the game of look everything up. It really is. Because everything's procedural, everything's single special rules, and it just starts piling up and you forget everything. Pick the lower roll, count out many lands from Jerusalem, and it has nothing to do whether the Turks control anything else. So the lower the number, the more likely it's going to be hit. So I'll protect this land. Is there anything I need to do on the Coptic side? Well, the Shua are going to happen, but they haven't happened yet. I might be spending Nubians, but they can only attack this way, I think. I'm not sure about that. Because this is the Roman offensives, which I've looked at before. Yeah, I know they're not Roman. I just looked that up, but I'm a little confused by it. I think maybe I can go both ways. I saw it before. There it is. 7.9. So we look, and I mean, this is to make, you know, my decisions on this turn, right? What the hell I'm doing. I have to do this with all of them. Well, hey, what about persecuting? I don't want to do that. Do I? I don't know. I can launch offensives. And they can also do backwards attacks. So maybe I want to go this way. Maybe I want to go that way. But I can use an empty land to attack backwards. I'm going to stop looking shit up. I'm tired of it. So I don't know what I want to do with my Bible there, so I'll just keep it. My Latin Bible, I was going to protect this, but, you know, maybe that's not the best move. Maybe it's not, because maybe battering the Abbasids is easier than battering the Saxons. Fuck. But basically, I'm going to be making attacks. Each attack is going to cost me $1. And I think that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing, trying to get Christian land back under control so it doesn't fall into apostasy, and then protecting each area, each valuable area with my Bible. I just did one, but backward attacks don't work right. Right? I think I did fine, but I don't remember what I rolled. But backward attacks don't work like normal attacks do. If I can find the rule on them. Uh-oh, I've lost it. All right, so now I look it back up again, 7.9. Like, yeah, I thought I had it right. 7.9 is they can do backward attacks towards Jerusalem, 4.2.5.3. Hey, they give the whole thing here this time. Okay. You pay $1, you roll, and you have to roll higher than the Arab strength. Okay, so normally when you make an attack, the defender has to roll higher than you to stop you. But now you have to roll higher than the enemy piece to hit the Arabs and push them back. I don't know what I rolled. I actually did more than one attack, didn't I? No, I only did an attack here. And I used the Roman army going backwards. The Roman army doesn't give me a bonus in any way. It's the same as the Roman land. And I'm just throwing my hands up in despair and saying, okay, I'm giving it to myself. But obviously I rolled a 4 or less because I was using the normal attack rules, not the backwards attack rules. This is what I ended up with. The Nubians pushing the Himyar completely back. Because to stop the Nubians, takes a 4, 5, or 6, but to succeed against the Abbasids took a 5 or 6. So making this path, it was easier to go this way. And they're approximately the same value. Of course, I only have 3 areas here which could cause me an issue. Let's keep looking. Here I had no options. Here I didn't need any. Here I did my Bible, but that's it. Here I succeeded in the 1 attack. Why did I make it? Well, this is a 3-point area. Here, the Holy Roman Emperor attacked Rome, going backwards, drove the Abbasids back, just like the Roman army did. And then eventually I launched an attack into Spain. I had a couple die rolls. I could have gone further conceivably, but I have to, I was rolling not a 5 or a 6, and I failed once, as opposed to trying to get a 5 or a 6, which would be what it was if it was the Abbasids going backwards. And yeah. So I think this is where I am. Now I go here. Dark Ages collapse doesn't happen. Persian religion. Persia goes Muslim. Okay. We're good there. Now the apostasy. Oh, before I do the apostasy, let me fire off my Bibles. The Holy Roman Emperor is unlikely to get back here, so I'm going to use my Bible to prevent the Saxons from converting. Okay. Over here, I think this whole path is happy. The Armenian Bible's already being used. The Syriac Bible's already being used. The Coptic Bible can protect something. What do I want to protect? Well, I'm more likely to succeed here than anywhere else. So I'll use it there to hold the fringes of Nubia. Okay. So now we get to the apostasy. We come across here and I lose this and this. I still have the path. Let's go to B. Nothing is lost on B. C. C, the Abbasids control all of this. So everything switches over up to the Bible. Okay. D, this one's protected. These others are not. The university protected up here. Yeah. I hope we did that trap back. Okay. The Turks have not made their decision yet, but they're pagan, so those poor people are in trouble. Coming over here, the Nubian. Oh, there was a reason not to go that way, but the Abbasids were harder, so maybe I did the right thing. And then this path, I think we're all happy. Did I lose a path yet? I lost that path, so I'm down to 4 paths. But that is my heretical path, so never mind. This path I lost, so I am down to 4, and I think that's the only path that I lost. I don't know if those extra turns helped me that much. I got to build some infrastructure and some Melkites and stuff. So, I mean, they did help, but Islam sweeps across you, as you could see. I mean, not that heavily. It's hard to see. I mean, Islam looks weak here, but where are they? They're down here. They didn't get North Africa. They got this entire track. They got pretty much this track. And they pushed into Rome and Cilicia. They didn't make it quite as far in some other areas. We're not going to see the Seljuks making it into Anatolia in this, although historically they did. So I think we're done. And now I reset things, which is how the heretical, I never get that for the ecumenical unless it's at the right time. But the same problem with the money, right? You know, so they're both an issue. And I think we push forward, and I flip my Bibles and put them back. Problem is, I'm not going to be able to finish the game And before, I miss tomorrow and maybe most of Saturday because I'm hungover or whatever. So I don't know. I'll be in better shape because I'll be getting home. I think we have curfew until at midnight. So I'll be getting home at a reasonable hour instead of 4 in the morning, 4:30, whatever it is I stumble home at when we don't. One problem with where I moved to is the 30-minute, 35-minute walk back from the bar has turned to an hour and a half. So I am much less capable of doing anything on Saturdays now. But I think that's where we are, and I'm just going to have to stop there. And I'm sorry, it's going to be a mess coming back to it. But it's the best I can do. Today was one of those days I just couldn't face. I woke up and absolutely knew. For no great reason. And just, I didn't think I could face yesterday. Yesterday was hard. And I ended up, I had a lot of meetings and I just couldn't can the day. And I canned the day today instead. But I knew as soon as I woke up, I was like, yeah. And in a way, the meetings are easier to deal with, right? Because meetings force you to be present, talking to people, not thinking, not just thinking. And my normal work forces me to sit there thinking, working on problems and focusing on them. And I just didn't have the will to do it. And honestly, it would have been focusing on something new. Unless something weird happened, it was very likely that I was starting a new project. And Friday is a great day to do that because my schedule is open, although now getting cluttered. But I may not have to show up for that. I may just stop doing that. Yeah, and I don't know. Anyway, on to the game. We threw a new heresy in. We've got a new theologian that I don't get to use until my religious phase. But we have a couple special things. The Shua Sultanate happens here. Turn 26. We have to look this up. 5.8. And again, most of the stuff in here you have to look up, which isn't that bad, except that if you're planning ahead. So this is just the Himyar flip over. That could have been put on a card or something like that. Obviously there isn't much, but there could be a significant amount of the information that is present on each of these things could be done on a card, which would present the game, I think, more easily. I'm not sure. I find that kind of disjointed, but at least you could have just the pieces that are in effect right now and maybe the ones that are coming up shortly presented. Because all this procedural stuff baked into a rule book. Now, if it had, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I really don't. It's a hard problem to present a game that's made up of different lots of little rules that only affect you, during certain periods of the game. Okay. But putting lots of non-game affecting historical material in with the stuff that you have to worry about and not having some other kind of mnemonic device is a problem. The Turks. Okay, I actually know how the Turks work, but I want to look this up anyway, just to make sure I get it right. So we roll a die, 2 dice, and we pick the lower one. And then that's going to be the religion along, that's going to be the space along the path whose religion the Turks follow. As long as I get a 1, the Turks will become Christian, which gives me a huge bit advantage. But I do not. I get a 6. So they will switch not to Manichae, but to Muslim. And that's not good for me. Manichaean would be good as Christian, basically, I think. How do they become Manichae, actually? Not Islam rule. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen this time. Oh, actually, wait. 6. Hold on. No, that's actually exactly what they got. It's not Islam ruled and not Christian. They actually become Manichaees. That's good for me. I mean, it's not a huge bonus, but it means that they're religiously tolerant, which is better than they were. And what it means is that I can convert territories that the Turks hold and have some hope of them remaining pro-Turkish or pro-Christian. I do not see another another ecumenical council. I am going to take all of these and just put them out of my sight because they're cluttering the board, and I really wish there had been a rule that removes them, but there isn't. There's no reason not to once you play it, but until you can, well, I don't know of one. I'm not going to state anything definitive because there's so much hidden in the rule book in these little things. So I think we've got our decisions there for the turn. We're on the cookie phase. Secular, because the Girl Scouts come. That's $3. If this is right, I've got 4 paths. So I've got 7. I haven't used a monastery yet. Might be important if you're short on cash, but you know, the main thing is you always have so many things that seem worth doing, except when you're cheating. And we got a king. Okay, so this becomes kind of like a crapshoot. First of all, I have to look up the things that aren't affected by a ruler. And secondly, then I have to keep rolling until I get an actual hit. And there probably aren't a lot of them on the board, if I recall correctly. A lot of places that an independent ruler can jump up, which I find disturbing. 6 pair-off die rolls. Like I said, it's hard to get one. You know, I mean, most of it's Nubians, Romans, and Arabs who prevent it. Maybe I'm missing something, but I just looked it up. That's what I remember. We got a pagan tyrant over in Ireland who probably isn't going to cause me much trouble. Oh, where are the Saxons? The Saxons, I think they just landed on the Saxons. Oh, that may be an issue. Wait, you can't hit behind a horde or something like that? I don't know. Oh, shit. I thought that was it. Okay, if the land appears on a horde, place the ruler, then retreat the horde to the next land out. Okay, so the Saxons have gone away, actually. Because the Saxons control everything back there. Wow. So now I can move, if I so desire, I may not need to, the Holy Roman Empire without any fight ahead of me. Now, that move is kind of weird, but it could protect me against this tyrant. I don't know, not really. Neat. And we see something of a resurgence coming, well, we see a mixture of things. So, first of all, the Saxons do move down here, and that is potentially a danger, but I have the university there protecting that, so I'm not in too much danger from them yet, but I do probably want to march forward and face them, and maybe march further forward to convert things. I could convert the tyrant. I know there's a rule for that. They're in a Christian area. That might be the best move if I convert them to a king. But these areas are not anyone's anymore. Oh, this is a tyrant shit. Hold on. The Saxons attacked the tyrant. I screwed up. Yeah. So I have to make a roll against that tyrant. So we're not going to get as far as we thought. The A, he is not stopped. And then the second one he makes automatically. Okay. So we killed that tyrant. Good enough. So the Saxons come flying down, and yes, I probably do want to still guard against them. Although I could just throw a knight there. No, a pray for peace there. for a buck, which might make more sense. What else? So we also had D, the Manichaean Turks, actually pushed the Caliphate back. And remember, it's not very active now, and it's weak on that row. So I've just opened up a bunch of spaces that can be converted, which is awesome. And that I don't have to protect. On the other hand, these Jews I have to protect if I want to keep them. So my Bible is probably, or my theologian if he's allowed on there. He's only on A and B. And then the third one was E, and that was the Shua, and they failed to push the Nubians back. So this cookie goes away. One thing, because all the cookies are coming out, or almost all of them, more of the heresies are going to come out. Now, for whatever reason in the game, I still have heresies in the cup. There's still two more turns and one more heresy. Even though I'm pulling more cookies, I am getting less than all the heresies. And all of these, I think, are historical heresies. I'm not absolutely positive of, how, whether all of them rose to the state where you would call them real in game terms, though. So that's kind of the thing, is some of them may be real, but may have had such a limited effect that they don't even really qualify as being on the board in the game turns. But, the Cathars came out pretty late. And I would definitely say they apply as real, in terms of controlling their area for a significant length of time. Enough to cause a response is an actual military response, which I don't think you're allowed to do. I keep getting it confused because you can militarily deal with a schism. So where the hell am I? I think I'm on my own actions, and that's going to take some thought and less talk. Now, I fired off a Bible here, converted these, used a Bible here to protect these. Those I know I want to do. I only have $7 for this turn, which isn't a huge amount. Which paths are kind of screwed? This one, if I could expand this another space, that would be great, but my theologian is only on A and B, and I can't protect anything. Well, I could convert things in Turkish land, if I had the right letter. A allows me to do a couple of conversions maybe here, so that's kind of interesting. So I'm going to hold off on him, and I'm going to hold off on the Bible, because I can use that Bible also for conversions or maybe protection if something happens. So my money, I think, is going to largely be spent moving either the Nubians, who stretch back to here, I guess, to here, to push the Abbasids back, where, let me think, I have to roll higher than the Abbasids, so I have to roll higher than a 4 to push them back. Or I can spend money to move up to these two, though that has a $2 initial cost. It does have some value, though. It would take me $1 to defend this at all. And then a $3 to attack the Saxons, where it's based on my number, and only a 5 or a 6 defeats me. I think I'm going to focus more on that path. Which path is my problem? Or which paths are my problem? This one and this one. And I can't really fix either one this turn. Well, wait a minute. No, I did a conversion already. I mean, I could convert Turkish territory. It's not that hard, and I could get an extra $1 that way. So that one more conversion in Turkish territory makes sense. I'm not going to move the Archbishop for the bonus. I'm just going to go for those cheap Mongolians. Because I only have, I have 2 more turns, but maybe the Turks will move again. Okay, so I converted them. That gets me another path, and that's worthwhile. But now I'll focus here, $2 to move up there, and then we'll start our fighting. I haven't done, and I don't have an easy way to represent it, I could use some other counter or something, is you can prevent things from going into apostasy, but just paying money. Which is similar to like flipping a Bible, right? A Bible is worth $1 or whatever. As long as the path is in communion, it only costs $1 to prevent the apostasy. So, you know, if I pushed them back, converted this, and had $1 left. Unfortunately, my Holy Roman Emperor did not do well. I'm down to $1 left. So I only have one little thing I can do. I'm going to use my Bible there. And that is unsuccessful. Oh shit. No, I'm not. I don't want to use the Bible there. I actually would have used this guy there. And he's out of the game now. Except he's the game turn. Always making that mistake. That's the end of those. And I get a Dark Ages. The reason I would do that is so that I could get both of these and then use the Bible to protect one. That didn't happen. Now I'm going to use the Bible, which is limited to that path, because there's nothing I can do on path B, and reducing Dark Ages is worth a victory point, but that was worth like 4. So we'll try again there, and this time we actually succeed, and we get these ascetics there. This Bible, well, I can always store $1. So I'm going to try to beat the Abbasids back. Now I need a 5 or a 6 to knock them back. And I succeed. This is a big deal, because now I can use the Bible for what? Yeah, that's a good question. For what? Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good idea, but what I wanted to do, yeah, there was no good answer there. Did I want to spend my $1 somewhere else? Okay, well, I failed to protect these. That's the problem. Because I used my Syriac Bible somewhere up here. Shit. God damn it. I fucked up. All right. Let me take this back. I know I used $1 for this, but let me take that back and protect this instead, because that's more important, and drop me back to 4, because I'm going to drop to 4 anyway. And yeah, I know I'm cheating, but it's impossible to hold everything in head. And for some reason I have the Roman army here. Why? It's as good a place as any. It's protecting that border. Because there's nowhere I can drive. I don't have any Romans on any of the paths that are really in problems. Okay. So I think this is where I end up. And we do have some apostasy, probably. No, I just failed to convert this. I mean, if I convert that, I have apostasy. But there's nothing good I can do with that token. Can I convert the Saxons again? No. They're not a normal conversion, if I recall correctly. I don't remember. The convert a horde. 7.6. I think the Saxons are based on Saxon, Bulgar, and Khazar. Wait a minute. If the Saxon horde is Aryan, well, they are again. I can try to convert them again. They have one land under their control. I don't have the money for it. Oh, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I could have done that instead. Oh, well. Because some Christian Saxons would actually have solved all my problems. Oh, well. Because they become Aryan again, but they're convertible again, which didn't seem to make much sense to me. I think I'm done. And I think we move into this space after I do any apostasy that actually is there. Whatever. Happy Easter to all of those of you who have been continuing on and celebrate. I hope to finish this today. Honestly, it would be a good bookend, starting on Pentecost, entering on Easter, but we can't guarantee anything here. So nothing exciting happening here at the start of turn, except my choice on the Roman army, and I'm looking around, and I don't have a good place for them. They provide me with a defensive benefit here in case the Abbasids start moving, get a movement again. And I can't put them on any other path that's terribly useful. I can put them here, but the Holy Rolling Empire can move on its own. I don't need the Roman army in that space. So I think I'm as good as it gets, which means I draw my cookie, and I don't have a lot of cookies left because I cheated. We get a whole shitload of money. And what else? Just a new kingdom, and then some of the trails. Khazars are not going to be a problem. The Turks are not a problem. That's a good thing for me. They open up more space because they're Manichees. And over on track E over here, well, the Shua are a potential problem, but I've got some defense against them. The ruler ends up trying to land on Nubia first, but then I get lucky. On the second roll, I think I'm somewhere where I'm allowed to be, which is here, which is within Holy Roman Empire territory. I'm not sure what defines the empire now, because, before it used to stretch all the way back, I guess, to the Papal States. Now, obviously this isn't, but I don't know if something else would be. It doesn't really make a difference. It's the edge of the territory that matters, probably, unless they're attacking Abbasids, which would have to fight their way through, but, it does raise interesting questions, but I'm fine with that. For the three paths, I got kind of lucky. The Khazars move forward. Hey, that's awesome. They gained a space. That path is almost ready to be added back in. The Turks failed twice, and unfortunately for me, the Shua have gained territory. The Turks, I can actually put another path in communion there. Fairly easily. But this one is going to throw me into some problem because I've got the Abbasids back here, and Nubia's been pushed back a little bit. This one will remain, so I'll stay in, not really in communion, in something. I don't know what the hell the word is. And here, I can't really add that to being in communion. That's knocked out no matter what because of the schism, unless I do something about that. I think that's the end of my cookie for the turn, in which case I gotta play my turn. Remember, I can do this. I fired my Bible off to convert these women. It was a success. Then I paid $1 to protect them under the apostasy rules, I believe. As long as that's not in schism, I'm allowed to do that. I'm recording it by putting the Bible over it, but it happened the opposite way. Done quite a bit of success, actually. We used the Latin Bible to convert this space, then moved the Holy Roman Empire in. When we were successful, over here I'm protecting these women with that Bible. I can't move the Khazars by money, and I can't move the Turks by money. So, I can either push against the Shua, which might be a good idea, and I might actually do something a little different with my Coptic Bible if I do that. Or I can pay to try to convert Turkish territory to Christian. I also have a knight available to pay for. I've got a lot of money left, so I should be able to do a lot, actually. All of those trying to move the Abbasids back from Thebes. I did do a conversion back here of the poor in Mongolia. I didn't want to hit these slaves because they're at risk, right? And likewise, since it would take me 2 hits back, I did spend, I think, 1 shot on the Shua, but then decided, screw it. It's not a good payoff. So, and I didn't buy my knight. Crap. That would have been a useful thing. I might have wanted to put it here as a defensive bulwark. But, you know, the Abbasids aren't going to move, and I don't know, or at least they're probably not. So I don't know how much of a real danger there was towards anything that I'm doing. And I hope nothing goes against me here, because I think I've got everything covered. The only question is, I was trying to gain ground, so I screwed up if I left anything open, that's for sure. But I don't think I did. And we'll go on to the next turn, which is a new era, in which nothing actually changes. It's just letting you know this is the end of the game. Okay. I looked that up. I wasn't sure, but yeah, that's the case. And what do we go there? Do I want to move the Roman army somewhere? I think the answer is still no. None of these tracks are very good. What is this one? This one's track E. Really? Is it? No, it's track B. I can't read the letters. Yeah, that's the one I wanted on. That's the toughest. If I'm going to face anything, I have 1 cookie left. Let me roll a die. I don't know what they are, but... well, it's a heretical emperor. $4, but I'm up to a 5, and we got a heresy. Ruh-roh. Just the one that left would have been more money, but with a possible, with the Abbasids moving forward. So, let's see what the heresy brings me, though. In Greece, it's not a terribly hard one. We had worse ones here, the Cathars and Iconoclasts. Instead, we drew the Bogomils. I thought they were sort of the source of the Cathars, but I may be mistaking something. And I'm going to have to deal with them. That hospital doesn't do me any good, but it's not a terrible result, given everything that could happen. The Saxons are going to come again. Now, I could have tried to convert the Saxons, but that's not terribly easy when they didn't have a lot of territory. So I thought pushing them back was a better idea. You know, they end up awake again. The Bulgar is not a problem. And then F is the Vandals, and they are all gone now. So not a problem either. He took more than I would have liked. I fired my Bible off. That didn't work right away, and I'm kind of like, well, you know, they're a high enough number, I should try something. So I moved my Archbishop down there for $1, and then 2 more rolls later got them out of there. That means I only have $6 left to play with, though. So I have $1 left. I'm at the end of the road. I've got this track completely handled. The B track completely Christianized. The C track, I'm protecting one thing, so no use converting anything else. It'll go apostate. Here I'm protecting this and have everything else under control. Here I'm protecting this, and I've actually managed to get the Nua all the way back, pushing the Abbasids back, and converted everything, including moving the Archbishop there. So that's pretty rich. I mean, I'm assuming I win on this, having cheated. Lesson learned, only cheat in your own favor. If you cheat in the opposition's favor, quit the game and start over again and cheat on your own. Let me see if there's anything here that I'm going to get Okay, +5 for all lands that are Christian. Yeah. Again, I only have $1 left. There isn't a lot I can do. Unschisming a pope. Oh, I actually did not have a heretical emperor this turn, so maybe I can do something. No, I don't have the kind of money, if I recall correctly. I don't want to bother. I don't want to look anything else up. I got rid of all the schisms. There's very little Dark Ages, and I can't drop that by 1. So we count. Okay, so we're going to add up the number of Christian tiles, which is a lot. Okay, so let's just look at the points for whatever purpose. All the Christian tiles added up to 72, with some of the paths, not being all that valuable. For example, this path, everything was worth 2 on it. And so that although I had the whole path, it wasn't all that valuable, whereas, the paths where I didn't have everybody were not that far behind, 8 and 7. I got 20 extra points for 4 of the 6 paths being completely Christian. I believe the lands are completely Christian. No bonus for a Reconquista because Spain didn't fall, and Persia is gone, so no bonus for that. Popes got me 3 points for each non-schismatic pope. Well, that's 5 of them, so that's 15 points there. I had $1 left, so that's a point. You don't lose that. There was no way for me to get anything additional. Infrastructure. 3 of my infrastructures were in Christian lands. The other 3 were in non-Christian controlled lands, even if Christians existed there. So that totaled up to 21 points. And then I had 3 Dark Ages points. Remember, the big deal there is you don't want it to break 7, but if you got nothing better to do, burning a theologian to kill a point of Dark Ages is worth a victory point at the end of the game, at least. And the total came to 126, which is the highest you can get. Christendom defeats Islam, Zoroastrian rebound in Persia. Well, with the Turks being Manichae, that's close enough, I guess. Islam retreats into small, exotic regional pockets while Christianity rapidly expands across the map. Yeah. Now, how much did my cheat help this? And that's a pretty good question, because I definitely I may have cheated in some ways that I'm not knowing about, but I definitely established Christianity more strongly than it had been, before the rise of Islam. Some of it maybe wasn't that big a deal. So I think I got a pretty good draw here, even, and some fair luck, is what I'm saying, even in addition to, being able to achieve that. And, it let me fix problems that were there. Maybe the schism, maybe I couldn't have dealt with that as easily. So, it definitely had an impact, and I wouldn't take this as oh, I'm so great. Not by any means, especially since it was difficult for me to formulate my strategy, because the game really kind of inhibits understanding what's going on very easily. A combination of the rules and everything, and the way they're structured, the way the map presents information to you and everything, I found it incredibly painful. So, what I kind of started finding as the way of dealing was break it into one path at a time and just look at that path. What can I do with the Bible here? Do I need money for this path? Maybe, okay, I'll hold it off for a second pass through when it comes to the religious phase. And that started helping. Breaking the problem into smaller pieces definitely helped, because it's really hard sometimes to visualize what the hell's going on any given path when you're looking at the whole mess. Yeah. All right. I'll be back with my review in a bit.